Good afternoon, viewers. Indonesia and Singapore Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Claranda Wijaya, and this is Market Headlines. And yes, viewers, President Joko Widodo demanded United Nations to actively cooperate to fulfill access to COVID-19 vaccines for people around the world. The discourse related to COVID-19 vaccines were brought by President Joko Widodo to the international level at the ASEAN summit. Jokowi asked for the availability of vaccines evenly is a must, not except in the region. Jokowi stressed that the improvements of the national and regional health systems can be a strong foundations for improving the global health orders.
Menghadapi tantangan di atas, kita harus melakukan berbagai terobosan. Tantangan-tantangan inilah yang harus kita antisipasi.
Moving on to the next coverage, the government, through the Minister of Finance, believes that the support of digital economy will accelerate the national economy recovery. The government hopes that the equal distributions of digital access will accelerate the implementations of the fiscal stimulus.
Indonesia has the opportunity to get out of the economic recession by taking advantage of the availability of digital access in society. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani said that the potential must be supported by infrastructure, such as adequate internet access. To support this, in 2021 state budget, the government has allocated 413 trillion rupiah for infrastructure, as well as for the information communication and technology sector, amounting to 30 trillion rupiah. The Finance Minister explained that the allocated budget is to build base transmission stations, or BTS, in more than 5,000 villages. Based on data, IT is known that there are still 12,000 villages that are not connected to the IT network.
Kita akan mengalokasikan 413 triliun untuk infrastruktur plus untuk ICT 30 triliun. Itu untuk apa saja? Membangun base transmission station di lebih dari 5.000 desa yang selama ini kita tahu masih ada 12.000 desa yang belum terkoneksi dengan ICT. Kita akan membangun internet di lebih dari 12.377 lokasi publik, layanan publik, sehingga dia bisa connected.
In addition, the Minister of Finance stated that the government will build a national data center to update data on people who will receive social assistance from the government. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Bank of Indonesia believes that the digitalization is one of the keys to restore the economy. Regarding that, Bank Indonesia continues to prepare improvements to digitalization's regulations, especially to develop the role of payment system.
The role of the digital economy is expected to further strengthen the process of economic recovery. Governor of Bank Indonesia Peri Warjio explained that the central bank has welcomed digitalization by carrying out digital transformation, especially in the field of the national payment system. Since 2019, Bank Indonesia has implemented a blueprint for the Indonesian payment system with several regulatory changes. First, Bank Indonesia has pushed for the implementation of the Indonesian Standard Quick Response Code, or QRIS. To date, more than 5 million merchants have been connected to the QRIS system, including retail entrepreneurs and MSMEs. The second one, by encouraging digital banking. As many as 15 banks have digitized banking and will continue to grow.
Digital payment system menyambungkan inklusi keuangan retail UMKM melalui QR Indonesian Standard. Yang kedua, kita juga melakukan digitalisasi perbankan. Kita dorong digital banking. Seluruh digital 15 bank sudah melakukan digitalisasi banking, terus kita lakukan.
In addition, the third initiative, Bank of Indonesia connects open banking with financial technology. Fourth, Bank Indonesia Fast Payment 24/7 will strengthen the payment system, which is expected to come next year. And fifth, Bank Indonesia is in the process of regulatory reform to support the industry and future restructuring. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
The Deposit Insurance Agency, or LPS, ensures that it will follow the central bank decisions after Bank Indonesia signals that it will again lower the interest rate. The agency even stated that the guarantee interest rate can be lowered at any time outside the schedule if it's necessary.
The Deposit Insurance Agency, or LPS, is committed to pushing the guarantee interest rate policy to be more active in encouraging lending. The chairman of the Board of Commissioners of LPS, Purbaya Yudi, said that LPS still opens opportunities to lower the guarantee interest rate in the future, in line with the signal of Bank Indonesia interest rates, which still has the potential to go to a lower level. Even if it's urgent or very necessary, LPS ensures that the guarantee interest rate can be lowered outside of schedule.
Simpanan yang masih terus menurun, dinamika faktor ekonomi, stabilitas sistem keuangan, dan tentunya kondisi likuiditas ke depan, LPS tetap membuka kemungkinan pemangkasan lanjutan atas kebijakan tingkat suku bunga penjaminan secara sewaktu-waktu di luar periode yang biasa, yang reguler.
Currently, the Deposit Insurance Agency has set the guarantee interest rate at commercial banks for rupiah deposits of 5% and for foreign currency deposits of 1.25%. While the guarantee interest rate for rupiah deposits at people credit banks is 7.5%. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Market Headlines will be right back with the news coverage regarding gig economy. Stay tuned.
IDX Channel, the Indonesia Stock Exchange channel, is the authorized capital market channel in Indonesia. To give references to global investors, IDX Channel also presented the news about the dynamic of Indonesia's economy, business, and capital market in English. IDX Channel also have different types of programs. They are Special Dialogue, Market Opening, Market Review, IDX First Session Closing, IDX Second Session Closing, Market Headlines, and News Screen. IDX Channel is aired 24 hours a day with 5 hours live program from Indonesia Stock Exchange trading floor. Our vision and mission as the only capital market TV channel in Indonesia that is committed to improve the capital market knowledge in the country. News that had been delivered on IDX Channel can also be seen on our digital platforms, so you can give yourself an update about informations anywhere and everywhere. IDX Channel can be watched through Vision Channel, First Media Channel, IndiHome Channel, and Vision Plus, and also live streaming on idxchannel.com. IDX Channel provides information from around the world from different perspectives. We provide you various investment strategies, stock options, inspiring figures for your business references. IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. Gig workers are independent contractors, online platform workers, contract firm workers, on-call workers, and temporary workers. And the good news is, Center for Strategic and International Studies research shows that the increase in quality of life of gigs workers and SMEs by up to 11%. Having a rapid growth across the world, a gig economy in Indonesia has a potential to reduce unemployment. Gig economy offers flexible working arrangement, flexible recruitment, and new job types. As a matter of fact, in 2019, the Center for Strategic and International Studies at Negara Strategic released the result of research on the quality of life of micro, small, medium enterprises and gig workers in Bandung, West Java. The result is satisfying. Research shows that an increase in quality of life of gig workers and SMEs by up to 11%. Another good news is the economic contributions of freelancers and SMEs in West Java through Grab platform even reached 10.1 trillion rupiah. From all sources, IDX Channel. And yes, viewers, have we ever calculated how many times we use service provider apps, such as online transportation service or online shopping? There are so many you cannot even tell. The platforms do not only help us as a US consumers, but then also help freelancers who become partners of the service providers. And this economic cycle is often referred as the gig economy. And as I told you before, gig workers are independent contractors, online platform workers, contract firm workers, on-call workers, and temporary workers. And speaking regionally, freelancers tend to look at the countries that have the best offer for the financial income. So which countries do you think that the gig economy is growing for the fastest for the freelancers? Let's see it in the next graphic. Here it is through your screen. We can see the top countries for the gig economy. We can see US, UK, Brazil, Pakistan, Ukraine, and also Philippines. Let's take a look at the United States. Let me tell you, in 2019, there were 57 million people doing freelance work in the US. Of up to 50% of the jobs within the US are compatible with the remote work. And 80% of the workers say that they would like to work remotely. In terms of GDP, freelancers contributed nearly $1 trillion to US economy in 2019. Impressive. And then next we got United Kingdom. The number of freelancers in the UK increased by 31% in 2018. And in 2019, there are now 4.8 million self-employed workers in the United Kingdom, and joins us that the top freelance countries ranking, with a year-on-year revenue of 59%. And then we got Brazil, ranking for the first time in 2019. Brazil has seen a 48% rise in the freelancer revenue, which has pushed it into the top 10 freelance countries. And as we got from ASEAN, we got Pakistan. Freelancing in Pakistan increased by 47% over last year, and the public sector is playing a key role in promoting freelancing in the country. And as we got Ukraine, as the country has been producing a high rate of the IT student, which makes Ukraine known for producing experts in the IT industry for freelancing. And then we got millennials that make up 54% of the Ukrainian freelance workforce that take home 58.3% of its revenue. And then we got our neighbor country, Philippines. According to 2019 report by Pioneer of the Global Gig Economy Index, the Philippines placed 6th in the world as the fastest growing market for the gig industry, revealing that 35% growth in the freelance earnings. Freelancer and the gig economy trends are now on the rise, and countries around the world are helping both companies and freelancers to get the best business engagement for themselves. And how about Indonesia? We have gathered the fact in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see that 14% of Indonesians millennials have worked in the gig economy, and one of the third of 127 million Indonesians work as a freelancer. And here it is, we got a fact from a BBC. In August 2022, there are 33.34 million Indonesian workers that work as a freelancer. And yes, viewers, as a matter of fact, in 2019, the Center for Strategic and International Studies and Negara Strategics released the result of research on the quality of life of the micro, small, medium enterprises and also the gig workers in Bandung, West Java. And the result is satisfying. The research shows that the increase in the quality of life of gig workers and SMEs by up to 11%. And another good news is the economic contributions of the freelancers and SMEs in West Java through the Grab platform even reached 10.1 trillion rupiah. See the growth, we cannot even deny the hype. There are so many people that are interested in the gig workers these days. And let's see what are the push factors behind the hype through the next graphic. Here it is. Through your screen, we can see the push factors of that. We can see that the economic is shifting from the traditional work into the high mobility work. And then it got linked into less traditional manufacturer jobs. And then the rise of technology, we cannot even deny the rise of technology makes people have the tendency to work in a mobility and of course easier taxations because government has set lower taxations for them who have a self-employed rather than to be employed. And then behind the good innovations, of course, there are two narratives, good and bad. Some people say that the rise of the gig economy and the platforms are assessed as contributing to the deteriorations of the stable jobs and an erosions of the worker protections. While the gig economy is recognized for offering workers flexibility and chance to be their own bosses. And to get deeper view, let's see the next graphic. Here it is. Through the next graphic, we can see the pro and cons between these gig economy. First of all, we can see the flexibility that the gig economy offers, and then the independence, and then the variety of work and alternative career choices that a gig economy provides for the gig workers. But however, there is another bad turns. There are the cons argument about that. The first of all is inconsistent income and no benefits, and takes longer to gain experience and vulnerable of explanations. And in Indonesia, the result shows that most of the gig workers were categorized in creative and multimedia, considering that 3.4 million people as by meaning of that, 3.4 million rupiah as the average of gig workers' pay salary. So gig economy offer competitive and promising alternative for society to get money. And behind all the pro and cons arguments, after all, this is bigger than just a work variety. During these recessions, companies are struggling. So it will likely to increase its reliance on gig labor rather than hiring full-time employees. And to sum up, with these current conditions and pandemic and stuffs, gig economy emerged as a lifeline for many facing financial stability. And this trend is likely to be even more pronounced as the current crisis is pushing many people to search specifically on a non-traditional form of employment that can be done from home. And yes, viewers, we hope that gig economy can help Indonesians achieve better life and reduce unemployment. And stay tuned to market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Adikarya, komitmennya kemanapun dan apapun yang akan dibangun oleh negara, kita akan siap mendukung. Kita juga saat ini punya proyek di ujung Banda Aceh dan juga punya proyek di Papua.
Nama saya Devisa Novel, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Season Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. So viewers, let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was open at level of 4,931.77. And in approaching the closing time in the first session, the index was on the level of 4,898.11. And then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. The index was closed at a level of 5,494.87. And in short, JCI went up 0.62%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's reading, we got constructions that went up 2.35%, infrastructure that went up 1.92%, basic industry that went up 0.14%, and consumer goods that went up 0.02%. And moving on to the top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading sessions. We got Telkom that went up 2.68%. We got Waskita that went up 8.51%. We got MDKA that went up 2.48%. And then we got Wika that went up 5.38%. Meantime, for the top losers for today's reading, we got BBRI that went down 1%. And then we got BMRI that went down 0.8%. We got NATO that went down 1.77%, and ZINC that went down 4.48%. Next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at a level of 14,166. Rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar and was closed at a level of 14,140. In summary, rupiah went up 0.18%. And as viewers, Indonesia Stock Exchange recorded significant increase of Syariah stocks since 2011. The increase even hit 90.3%.
President Director of Indonesia Stock Exchange, Inarno Jayadi, is optimistic that the Islamic capital market in Indonesia will be more advanced. This progress is in line with significant increase in the number of Islamic investors in the last 5 years. Based on the IDX data as of October 2020, the number of Syariah stocks has increased by 90.3% since 2011, from 237 stocks to 451 stocks. It means 63.6% of the total stocks. Meanwhile, the Syariah stock market capitalizations reached 51.4% in the total market capitalizations, with a percentage of the total transactions value of Islamic stocks reaching 53.7%. In the other hand, the transactions volume for Syariah stocks reached 56.9%, and the transactions frequency for the Islamic stocks reached 61.9% of the total transactions frequency of shares of IDX. From Jakarta, Gilang Praditya for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, to suppress the additions of COVID-19 cases in Indonesia, the Ministry of Health is actively implementing aggressive contact tracing steps starting from the smallest healthcare unit. The Ministry of Health assessed that the contact tracing must be carried out, started from the health facility closest to the community. One of them is Puskesmas. Special staff of the Ministry of Health, Alexander Ginting, said that the ministry is actively conducting aggressive contact tracing program, where this is one of the ways to trace people who have been exposed to the COVID-19 patients. Alexander added that the COVID-19 task force is working with the health department to track positive patients at the health center level. This is expected to track more positive COVID patients in the community and identify them.
Jadi bahwa Satgas COVID-19 melalui program di bidang kesehatan pada saat ini dengan gencarnya melaksanakan kontak tracing agresif. Kontak tracing agresif itu adalah satu pelacakan kontak yang dilaksanakan bekerja sama antara bidang kesehatan Satgas COVID-19 dengan Dinas Kesehatan, dan sasarannya adalah di level puskesmas dan di kecamatan. Dan program ini mencapai sasaran, yaitu adalah kasus yang terkonfirmasi dan mereka yang kontak erat. Dan kalau misalnya ada yang kasus terkonfirmasi yang ditemukan, maka kalau dia sudah ditemukan secara positif dan tidak bergejala ataupun gejalanya ringan, maka dia akan masuk ke isolasi mandiri yang sudah disiapkan oleh pemerintah melalui fasilitas.
And yes, viewers, as the coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on current economic situations, here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. On the news close our market headlines today, please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business and capital market channel. And before saying goodbye, I would like to remind you of what Mom said. Please do comply with the health protocol by using mask, physical distancing and avoiding crowd. Also washing your hand often with a soap through overflowing water. I'm Clara Antawijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Nama saya Devisa Novel, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Season Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market.